Hello everybody, this is me, SM19J, and welcome to a special video because we are celebrating, at least, um, I guess in the U.S., I don't live in the U.S. anymore, but I live over here in Sicily now, but I'm still gonna celebrate the U.S. release date. But we are celebrating the Nintendo Switch's 5th anniversary. That is right, the Nintendo Switch is 5 years old. Um, as of this video, it's going to be the 5th anniversary in the United States. In Japan, the 5th anniversary already passed, so just they're ahead of us by I think a day. So yeah, it's pretty mind-boggling, or breathtaking that this bad boy is 5 years old. Man, dude, like it's weird because I'm not gonna say the actual reveal trailer felt like yesterday. It felt like a couple of years. But 2017 didn't feel that long ago. With Breath of the Wild, Splatoon 2, Arms, Super Mario Odyssey, my favorite Switch game. I guess my favorite game on this console. And man, I just have so many memories with this console. Like when I first bought this is the one that I got in the Smash Brothers one, but my first edition one back on March 3rd. I was only 15 years old. I'm 20 now. Oh my God, where has the time gone by? I was in what, 10th grade, and now I'm out of high school, attending college. Sort of. I haven't really bothered with my application for this year, so yeah, I sort of been dipping in college in and out in I guess different years. Um, so yeah, it's so crazy, and really this whole video is just gonna be me talking about the Nintendo Switch, the story of how I got my Switch, and also um, pretty much what the Switch means to me in terms of, like, I guess you can say my gaming lifestyle. I'm not gonna say that the Switch changed my life, because it honestly didn't, but it has really broadened, I guess expanded what type of games I play. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I've only played Mario games. Those are the only games I play. Hours and hours a day. Just nonstop Mario. But with the Nintendo Switch, I've actually been playing other games besides Mario: Legend of Zelda, Metroid, Crash Bandicoot. And all these other games. So it's just really insane how this little console here has basically given me a brand new way to experience games that I've never really bothered trying before. But I'll get more into that once I tell the story of how I got my Switch, or I guess my first edition one. Um, man, I remember it too. So in January, they did their little presentation with all of the games. They revealed Splatoon 2, 1, 2 Switch. They didn't reveal Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which was weird, but they did have Zelda Breath of the Wild, Shin Megami Tensei 5, I believe, Fire Emblem Warriors, and also my favorite game, Super Mario Odyssey. Man, that trailer still gives me goosebumps, man. I remember watching that. It was like at what, midnight or something, and I just wanted to stream so bad because the graphics looked amazing for that game. Mario was in, I guess, well, now we know it's New York City, but at the time we knew that Mario was exploring this New York City inspired land. It was a sandbox game. It was just so, and also the capping mechanic at that time we didn't even know. But yeah, that game, that trailer was just so incredible, dude. It was so amazing. Like, I love that trailer so much, and I really do hope we get a sequel. I'm looking forward to it, because man, dude, like, I have Super Mario Odyssey, man. Let me tell you, it is a great game. And same with like Breath of the Wild 2. That one was great as well. But I pulled like at least 250 hours. Actually, let me look at it now. If I can still see it. Let's see. Can I still have it? There you go. So you're not gonna be able to see it that well, but I put in 280 hours. I actually completed Super Mario Odyssey on all five of the save files that the game gives you. So yeah, so I really love this game, just to show you guys how my dedication to this game, But yeah, the presentation was shown off. I was getting a huge high off of it, specifically with Mario games, and that was actually also the time that I got my first ever, I guess, quote unquote job. I worked at this store called the Commissary. It's a grocery store on usually on military bases. This one was Fort Sam Houston in San Antonio, Texas. So when I saw that price drop for $300, I immediately knew I had to go and save my money. But also during that January time, Nintendo was at PAX South, and so I had to go and save money for a Sunday ticket, which would then take me to go to PAX South 2017, go play the Switch, try out their games, and also start my PAX South journey, I guess little career, whatever you want to call it, for the next 3 to 4 years, all the way up to PAX South 2020. Because after that, there's no more PAX South. So yeah, so it was so crazy to go try out the Switch, to play it early. I definitely know I wasn't the first one to play it. There was obviously events before PAX South, but it was just so cool to be one of the many people who got to try to Switch early. And man, it was amazing. I never really bothered going back to the line after. So yeah, I still have pictures from that time. So yeah, it was incredible. So then I had to start saving money. The thing with my job, I guess, job at the commissary, was that I was a bagger. We did not have hourly pay, so we only got paid through the form of tips from the customers, which, as a bagger, which, you bag the customers' groceries, and you go and take it out to their car, and you put their groceries in their car. um, I guess it's almost like one of those hotel workers where they take your luggage or something. I don't know. But yeah, but that was pretty much how I was getting money. And man, let me tell you, saving up $300 was really tough. Because you're not, for the most part, you're only getting like $2 to $3, $5 if you're lucky, $10 if you're really really lucky, and higher. $10 or higher would be really lucky with that one. But yeah, it was just so tough. And I would always go to my GameStop at this place called the Exchange, which was almost like, not, I wouldn't say like a mini mall, but it was like a store that had the main exchange, or the main store, along with the food court and a small other stores. One of them was GameStop. I would always go into GameStop and trade my $1 bills for like $20 bills, so that way I could save. So that way, I'm not going to like GameStop or something with like 300 $1 bills. Like that would have just been insane. But yeah, the good thing about it though was that I was becoming, I wouldn't say buddies, but I was becoming a regular customer to them. To the point where it was actually, I believe, close to the Switch launch. I told I was telling one of the guys that, but yeah, I'm saving up for the Switch. I'm probably gonna go to one of the midnight releases. And what's pretty awesome is that guy that I was talking to actually said, "Hey, I know you've been saving up for the Switch, so what I'm going to do is, we're bound to get extra Switches, not a lot, but some. I am going to save one of these consoles for you. I know how much you want to get this console, so I'm going to save one just for you," which was so nice of that dude. He didn't even have to do that whatsoever, and that was pretty much how I got my Switch. The generosity of that dude. He didn't have to do that. Because really, that's not even fair to the other customers who didn't pre-order. I never pre-ordered, because at first I was like, I'm gonna wait until Mario Odyssey comes out, because I really only cared about Mario Odyssey. Which was actually sort of a bad move on me, because close to when, I believe in the September direct, they announced a Mario Odyssey Switch edition, which, oh man, dude, I would have so spent $300 on that. But I wasn't saving $300 again. That was until the Smash Brothers one, but that one was sort of different because the Joy Cons were being messed up, the screen was being messed up. I actually lost the dot due to, I believe, a bad thunderstorm. The lightning pretty much ruined the dot for me. So yeah, so I really wasn't able to use that same dot. So that was why I had to go and get that Smash Ultimate Switch Edition one. But yeah, but anyways, back to the GameStop guy. Very nice of him. And what sucks is that after that, but maybe like a couple of months to a year, I guess I guess GameStop transferred the guy. I don't know how working at GameStop um, works, but I do know that after a year or maybe a couple months or a year, they started getting in different employees, which was like, wow, that's weird. I kind of hope I see the other guys one day. I never did, and it kind of sucked too. Just I know, like, hey, I know them, they know me, so it's like, we have, I wouldn't say a special bond, but like I am a regular customer to them. They know what I want, so yeah, they would get me if I were to say, tell them something that they would understand. I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point, but yeah, that was pretty cool. And then on March 3rd, but I remember so much. I had to get my dad to go, um, who is and still is a U.S. soldier or military member. I don't know what they call it. Um, but yeah, I remember. I still have the picture. He went to go GameStop early in the morning. I think when they opened, and he obviously got the Switch for me. He had to pay the tax, but I pretty much had to. But I still had the majority of that money, which was the $300. I believe the tax was like $24 extra, so $324. But my dad just paid for it. Yeah, I think I told my dad to, like, hey, you're gonna pay for the taxes. I'm not going back to the store to get 24 extra bucks. Um, but yeah, my dad would send me a picture of him with the Switch in his truck, and man, I could not be any more excited. But also after school, there was tennis practice. Um, so yeah, so then that meant that I had to spend at least an hour at tennis practice. And it's funny too, because my tennis coach, who I wouldn't say a full on gamer, but he does play video games from here and there, so he sort of understands um, what I'm talking about, and he knew the Nintendo Switch was coming out, so he would always, on that day, he was asking me questions about, hey, did you get the Switch, and what games are you gonna play? So it's like, yeah, this and that, answering these questions. But once tennis practice was over, I sprinted on home. Um, the tennis court wasn't really that far. It was really just like a street corner away. So I just really had to just run back home. And when I did, I saw I believe the Switch was on the table, and no, I think it was on my bed. I don't really remember, but yeah, but I do know that there was nobody in the house, so I got my phone. I got the Switch. I went downstairs, and the video that I put up, um, and it's so weird too. I just see my face, and my face is like so, like, my face now is a little bit chubby, but my face back then was just so small. Like, this hat that you see, this hat that I've been wearing for years, was so big that it couldn't fit my head. Now it fits my head. That's how long it's been. So it's just so crazy. And my voice too. My voice was like so squeaky back then. I guess it still is today, but not that squeaky. And I had little arms too. It's just so funny to go back and just watch me be so excited to open it. I actually opened the box, I believe, upside down. So yeah, so that was just me being so excited that I just couldn't, like, control myself. And I don't think I had any games on it. I think maybe I got one to Switch on that same day. I'm not too sure. I don't think I did. But the next day, but I did get one to Switch. To play with my family. We didn't really play that much, so the next day or two, that was when I got Zelda, but of the Wild. Um, which is a phenomenal game. I'm actually playing it again right now, just finishing some side quests, collecting some co-op seeds. I'm really just putting in hours into that game just because I'm bored. There's not really many games for me to play in terms of online. So yeah, at least without me being rage induced, so I'm trying to control my anger. And that obviously involves not playing online games, because man, I'm really competitive, so I really hate. I don't mind losing, but I don't want to lose in a bad way, or in a stupid way, So that's when I really get all angry and just start want to just start breaking stuff. So yeah, I've actually broken a few Switch games, I realized that breaking controllers just wasn't worth it, so why not break the stupid games, which also isn't a good move on me because that's still $60 that I would have to spend again, but that's at least better than like $80 for a Pro controller or Joy-Cons. So yeah, so that's pretty much I guess my story of getting the Nintendo Switch. Um, and I would almost get every single game that they would release in that month. So I remember Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart Deluxe. That was what, April, May. I don't remember what was for May, but I probably didn't pick it up. Actually, I have my stupid and then in a few months later, I would get this case. But let's see. Um, I skipped May, but I don't think they released anything in May. June was Splatoon. No, June was Arms. I remember now, so I picked that up. June, July was Splatoon 2. I remember that. August was Mario plus Rabbids Team the Battle. I got the collector's edition, and this is probably a story for another time, but the GameStop employee who was different from the guy I mentioned and a couple minutes ago, but it was a female employee, and when I went there to go pick up my collector's edition for Mario plus Rabbids, she said that she was so close to selling that collector's edition, which I would have been so pissed off. Like, that is a pre-order, and you don't sell those, at least until like 48 hours or something. So yeah, it would have been. I would have been so mad. Just like, you don't do that. That would be a huge mishaps on your part. But August was my plus what I was thinking about. September was, I believe, Pokemon tournament, and then October. I didn't get anything for November or December because I didn't bother. But October, man, Super Mario Odyssey came out, and I was so excited to play that game. That was when I actually bought. That was actually when I started bringing my Nintendo Switch to school, dude. I wanted to play that game for hours and hours. I just wanted to non-stop play it. So I bought this bad boy to school. And yeah, it was just so crazy too, because like that was obviously still when the Switch was brand new. And so most of my friends would be like, hey, what is that? Like, wow, you can play games on the go. That's crazy. So yeah, just that alone was pretty awesome. Well, it was awesome memories to have during my high school years. That was what, and Mario Odyssey came out when I was in 11th grade. So yeah, but yeah, but anyways, that's pretty much gonna be it for my story. But now I want to get into my gaming, I guess, life. Like I said earlier, I am a huge I am a huge fan of Mario games. That's pretty much almost 99% of the games I play on Nintendo consoles, with 1% going towards other franchises that I would play just to try it out, or if I have an interest in this particular game. Like, for example, on my Nintendo 3DS, I have the Angry Birds trilogy. I have Pac-Man Party 3DS. I have Epic Mickey, Power of Illusion, etc. Games like those, like games that catch my eye and like, hey, I want to try this game out, so I'm going to buy it and see how it goes. But for the most part, my library is usually Mario games. And so it comes to my surprise now that I would have, that it would almost be 50-50 percent. 50% Mario games and 50% non-Mario games. So like I said, I do have Breath of the Wild, I have Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, I have Metroid Dread, um, what else? Um, I might as well just say NBA 2K, NBA Playgrounds. Um, what other? I do have some indie games like Meat Muds. I really wanted to play that game on the Nintendo 3DS, but I never really had the money for it. But let's see what else. Rocket League, Cuphead, Super Kirby Clash. One that I just picked up recently was a game called Boomerang Fu. Um, but yeah, other games like Splatoon 2, Arms. I'm trying to see what else I have. Oh yeah, Sonic Mania. Never thought I would play a Sonic game in my life. Well, that's not true. Just I do remember being like during the DS era, I did have like this Sonic game with like 3 Sonic games in one cartridge. So that was cool. The official one, not like some bootleg. I have the Financial Freddy's collection. I have Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. I want to pick up Crash 4 one day. Um, and yeah, and just other games, so it's just crazy to think that, you know, I'm starting to expand my library now. I'm not too sure if it's because I'm older or since I've been playing a lot of my games, I'm just getting sick and tired of my. It's probably not that. It's probably just me being older and wanting to try out different games. But yeah, it's honestly crazy how this one console has expanded my library than any other Nintendo console. It hasn't happened with the GameCube. It hasn't happened with the DS, not the DSi, not the 3DS, not the Wii, not the Wii U. Those consoles that I mentioned are mostly going to be filled with Mario games. This one, for some odd reason, is not, and it's just so crazy. And I'm honestly happy, if I were to tell 2017 self that hey, one day you're going to have these multiple games that are not Mario. You're going to have like a 50-50% on each. My 15-year-old self would look at me like I'm crazy. Like, come on, we're Mario fans. We're gonna be playing Mario for eternity. We're not gonna play like Legend of Zelda and whatnot. But it's crazy. Like right now with Metroid Dread, I want to go play other Metroid games. So it's just so crazy how, not only am I expanding my library, but I'm also sort of becoming a fan of different other franchises. Um, so yeah, so I guess I have this. I guess I should thank the Nintendo Switch for that. Um, because yeah, it's crazy. When you become a fan of one franchise for so long, and you start to try out different franchises, you almost you look at yourself like, wow, this is really happening. I'm enjoying something that is not this particular franchise. Like for me, I'm enjoying something. I'm enjoying something that isn't more like. I would say Metroid Dread was an impulse buy. That was not a game that I bothered looking at let's plays of reviews. I was just like, hey, the special edition, it's right in front of me. I'm gonna go and buy it and see what happens. And what do you know? I would enjoy Metroid Dread. A brand new experience that I honestly never thought I would even think of experiencing. But because of that, I was able to have a grand old time. And I would be there for the next Metroid 2D game. Maybe not Metroid Prime, but for the next Metroid 2D game, I would of course be there. Breath of the Wild, I probably won't buy the sequel just because, once again, Breath of the Wild was more of an impulse buy, just because there was really no other games to play during the time the Switch launched. So yeah, so it was just like, it's either one to Switch or Breath of the Wild, and I decided to get both. But I spent most of my time playing Breath of the Wild before that until Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came out. Because I needed to get some Mario game on this bad boy. Um, and yeah, it's just 5 years, man. And honestly, 2022 is only going to get crazier for the Nintendo Switch, We have Nintendo Switch Sports. I don't care about Advance Wars, and I don't think nobody else does. I'm gonna be honest with you. And then for me, there's Mario Strikers, Battle League. Um, what else is there? There's other games too, like Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Um, I'm gonna list top games that I don't really care about. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Breath of the Wild 2, if that ever comes out in 2022. Bayonetta 3, which hopefully does come out. I'm not really gonna buy it myself. I'll think about it, but it's just, hey, let's just get this game out now, you know. And hopefully we get some more news. Metroid Prime 4, hopefully we get some news about that too. But either way, 2022 is going to be a great year for the Nintendo Switch. It's almost going to be like, oh yeah, and also Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Can't wait for that one. I'm so excited. I love the first one. I was so surprised that I actually enjoyed it. So yeah, so I'm really looking forward to this Mario plus Rabbids sequel. And yeah, and then who knows what's gonna happen in 2023. And maybe, and hopefully the next 5 years, because usually the Nintendo accounts usually have like a 7 to 9 switch, 7 to 9 lifespan, and apparently Nintendo is working on like the next gen console, I guess, or they're thinking of ideas for it. So yeah, so they're sort of like they probably might just get rid of the Switch sometime soon. Apparently but also there's apparently been a leak from Nvidia. I don't know what the company's name, how you pronounce the company's name, but there's something about a potential Nintendo Switch 2, or a Switch Pro. So who knows what's gonna happen. But I will be there for that Nintendo Switch Pro just because I do want to get another Switch console just because the screen is sort of, I wouldn't say broken, but it's starting to, like you can tell that it's actually starting to be damaged, so I want to get a new one with Joy-Cons, with the new dock and etc. So yeah, I know some people are probably gonna think, why don't you just go and get it replaced at the Nintendo Repair Center or whatever. I don't know why, to be honest. Um, but also, I live in a different country now. I live I live on the other side of the planet, so it's gonna be really hard for me to send this over to Nintendo of America from Sicily, which is where I live. So yeah, so I just I'm not gonna bother with trying to get stuff repaired. It's just, hey, if I can just go and get it replaced here at some store, I'm just gonna do that either way. I'm just gonna that's just gonna be my option. No other questions asked. So yeah, so really, the Switch has been amazing. If you haven't picked up a Switch, I really recommend buying one. Don't buy a Switch Lite. Just don't. Just if you can save up an extra $100, well, actually $124 because of tax, you can just go and buy a Nintendo Switch, and like an actual one that you can switch the TV with. So yeah. That's pretty much all I have to say for this discussion video. I just wanted to celebrate the Switch's 5th anniversary by telling you guys my stories with the Switch and my experiences with it. Super Mario Odyssey is my favorite Switch game. For my favorite Mario game, it's probably tied with Super Mario 3D Land. It's so tough because I have so many memories with these two games that I just can't put one on top of the other. So I'm probably gonna keep it at tie between those two games. So yeah, and hopefully to all of you guys out there who have a Switch, hopefully it's been amazing for you guys, as just as amazing as it has been for me. So yeah, tell me your stories about the Nintendo Switch down below. Did you get it on launch day? If so, let me know how you felt. Where did you get it at? Did you have to wait a week or two because of shipping delays or whatever or whatnot? But yeah. Let me know in the comments below. Let's just have a big celebration for the Nintendo Switch in the comments below. And yeah, that's going to be it for this discussion video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And yeah, happy 5th anniversary Nintendo Switch, and hopefully we have another great 5 years more. Anyways, this is Super Mario 19J signing out. I will see you all in the next video. Specifically a Let's Play video.